What's up, miners and renters, Web3 hustlers? I like that. I like Web3 hustlers. Anyway, in my last video, I was talking about a few things, and I mentioned my kind of like versatility strategy, if you will. Hopefully, that's not an overstatement, but I realized that I've been doing all of these AI rentals. I haven't jumped on Clore or any of the other ones lately, or Vast. I've just been sticking with these like one by one units and doing Octa space and also Salad on Windows, which is been pretty reliably rented, reliably profitable, if you will. And it occurred to me that I'm actually dual booting these so that I can switch between Octa space or Salad literally on the drop of a dime. And it's not that technically hard to do, but I don't like being like pigeonholed into one thing. And no offense to Salad or Octa, they're both I love them both. They're both awesome projects, and they've both been like lately since probably April until what is this, August now. Like I've been like reliably rented. That could go poof in an instant. And I noticed there's fluctuations. Sometimes it'll be, pretty busy with containers on Salad, and other times it'll be like the demand will be surging, it seems, on Octa. And so I want to be able to ride both waves, if you will. So what I want to show you guys in this video is exactly what I'm doing with basically, well, I have two that I haven't actually had to do this on yet because they've just been literally rented the whole time. But I'm actually just dual booting Ubuntu and Windows so that I can have Salad installed and Octa and just switch between the two depending on where the demand is at. Another key thing that I want to mention is that you guys are going to want to start enabling GPU pass-through on your Octaspace rigs. And I can explain why, and I think I'll show you guys why in a later video or something else I'm working on that is pretty interesting that I want to share with you guys soon. So with that being said, let me show you how I am doing this dual booting of Octaspace and Salad, because really, if you're doing this single rig, you should be running both. All right, so I'm going to show you guys exactly how I'm doing this. We're going to go from the Windows side of things to dual booting Ubuntu. And on all my systems, I'm running a 1 TB SSD. And so as of late, Salad has announced that I guess you're more viable for container renters if you have 5 GB of storage. Now, like I said, I have all 1 TB SSDs on my setups. So what I do is actually just split it right down the middle and do 500. I'm going to do like 520 gigs for Salad, and then the other 480 for Octaspace. I'm going to mention, you do whatever you want. But I am putting Ubuntu 24.04. Real quick, if you guys are following the other video with the 4080 Super, I'm updating that daily to the best of my ability. Everything's tracked though to a T, so it doesn't really matter. And so if you're following that, the links are in the other video. And so in this video description, I'll leave links to Ubuntu. You're also going to need either Balena Etcher or Rufus. I use both. You're going to need Windows install. So I'm assuming you already have Windows installed and you're watching this and you're running Salad. These are generally my setups. This is like my daily driver PC. I do have Salad running on this. Oh my God, no, it died. Oh wait, it's got a job. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so I do have Salad running on this. But this is actually just like my one of my work PCs. Anyway, so what you're gonna want to do is take your partition. So this has nothing but Windows on it, okay? And I want to dual boot Ubuntu 24.04, and I would like to be able to swap and run Windows. I want to choose between Windows or Ubuntu and grow. So you're gonna come over here and right click on this Windows icon thing, and then go to disk management. All right. And once you hop into disk management, it's literally this simple. You're gonna just basically resize your partition, right? I'm not actually gonna do it on this exact server. I'm just gonna be leaving Windows on this. I'm not gonna be, this thing just stays on Windows for work all the time. But you're gonna come over here and find your Windows partition. If you have other crap plugged in here, you're gonna see it. But this NTFS, your C drive, you're gonna want to right click on there and shrink volume. It's gonna do this and query And then once it's done querying, you're going to shrink. So if you just set this up and you have Windows and it's just like only using this, whatever 975, my thinking is that you want to have 500 gigs for salad. So I'm just going to go on ahead and do that. We're going to set 500 gigs for Ubuntu and 500 gigs for Windows to run, salad and to run Octaspace. So once you get all that situated and you shrink your drive and leave that space for this new install, the next thing you're going to need is a bootable flash drive with Ubuntu 24.04 on it. Now, I will leave links to all these downloads below. If you guys are like new to this and you haven't done it before, it's very simple. It's not challenging at all. If I can do this, you definitely can. And so you can choose between using Balena Etcher or Rufus. However you have Windows, Rufus is great for that, or whatever. However you get it, that's on you. Balena is also great, and so I use this all the time. And so once you download that image, you're going to want to go ahead and pop your flash drive into your PC. Whoops, that's not the right file. You're going to want to pull up Balena Etcher once you install it, and then you will flash from file, and you will choose the just downloaded, select the flash drive that you have plugged in, and flash. All right, so now that we waited for the flash to complete, we're going to go ahead and yank this USB that we just made with 24. And we're going to boot this bad boy and install it to the new partition space that we just created. All right, so I pressed F11, or you can go on your BIOS, and we're going to boot up to the flash drive that we created with Ubuntu 24 on it. And then we are going to do try, hopefully you can see that, try or install Ubuntu. And then it should load. Should pop up on this screen too, actually. All right, so here we are loaded into Ubuntu 24 desktop, and it is preparing. So we will give that a second. Then we're going to do English. Next. No, we're not worried about that right now. We're going to install Ubuntu. Okay. We will do the interactive installation. Default is fine. We don't need any of that. Now, next we want to make sure that we're dual booting and we choose the partition space that we just made in Windows when we shrunk the volume. So this is taking a while to load. Okay, so here we're going to choose manual installation and next. And then we want to use that new, the 25 gigs that we just made there. So let's go ahead and we will use this as our boot device. And then we're going to add, this is the partition type, this extension 4. Whoops, no, that is not what we want. We want our mount point to just be the slash there. Good. And we're going to install to here. Let's see. This all looks good. So this is the flash drive that we're booted up to. This is the entire hard drive. This is the Windows installation going on. And we are going to be installing Ubuntu here. Next, we're going to just call this. This is going to be Octa. We'll just do 07. I believe that's right. We'll make a password. Just for now, this is temporary. I'm not going to really actually be using this one. And next. Yeah, sure. Okay, and install. All right, so we're going to let that rock and roll, and then we will come back and dual boot. All right, we are installed and ready to use. We're going to click restart now, and we're going to let her reboot. We'll probably have to remove the drive. Yeah, that says remove installation media, and press enter. All right, so we're going to let this rock and roll here, and we should now be able to dual boot. Yeah, it always pops up on this monitor first. Boom, there we have it. So let me show you guys here. We can now choose between our brand new Ubuntu installation, or we can hop back into Windows. So let's go ahead and let's take a look-see at Ubuntu here. Make sure it worked okay. All right. And now that we have our Ubuntu installation, let's go ahead and restart. Okay, booting up. There we go. We got our Ubuntu, and now that we restarted, let's go back on into Windows. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Simple as that, folks. So we can now choose whichever one we want. We got Windows with this weird splash screen. It's definitely not 444. That's weird. I have to fix the time on there. All right, guys, we're in. All right, guys, there you have it. Now you can boot up into Ubuntu and run your Octa server rental, or really anything that you can do in Ubuntu. You can do that there. And if maybe jobs are slow and you want to switch back over to Sally containers, no problem. On the exact same system, you can just power down, restart, and you're in Windows. So that's the beauty of dual boot. Pretty simple concept. I've been doing this. Now, I ended up going with Ubuntu Desktop. I ran into a little bit of issues when I was trying to do server, so I'm going to do a separate video where I'll cover a little bit of a different topic and why you may want to have GPU pass-through enabled on your Octa servers. But that's for another video. So hopefully you guys got something out of this. Again, I will leave links to a Balena Etcher or Rufus. You can use those to make your bootable flash drive for your whatever version of Ubuntu you want to use. And that's it. Good luck and happy mining and renting, everyone.